Thank you, Matt. And joining us again to talk about this awful tragedy, former ATF Special Agent in Charge Bernard Zapor and former D.C. police detective and Fox News contributor Ted Williams. Ted, let me come to you first to pick up on the point Matt was making there. I believe we're just about 13 hours now since the shooting itself. That is a lot of hours during which this shooter could have made his or her escape, could literally, as Matt was saying, have got anywhere by now, up into the mountains near Orem, anywhere along north or south along 15 and to all points across the country since then. How difficult is this investigation now because of this time, Ted?
It's a very difficult investigation because when you have a shooting that takes place in just an outer space like this, it can be very difficult when you have a large crowd. For instance, Jonathan and Anita, I was out in Butler, Pennsylvania, when President Trump was, the attempted assassination took place out there. And when you have an open-air place like Butler, Pennsylvania, and an open-air place like you have here in Utah, it makes it, whoever they want to try to kill, are very vulnerable under the circumstances. So quite naturally, as has been said, and as Bernard has even said, they could be anywhere now in the country. And it's going to be very difficult. But I do believe that the video feeds in and around that area are going to be very significant in bringing this person to justice.
Yeah, Bernard, let me pick up on that point. Ted mentioned the video, and they will certainly carefully pore over that video. Detectives will. And Matt mentioned that law enforcement were going door to door. What else can law enforcement do to try to find this person? What other leads can they follow up on? Because it certainly seems like it's a little bit of finding a needle in a haystack at this point.
So the initial opportunity is to go out and approach all possibilities at one time. So yes, you're going to have some traditional things like door to door, but you can imagine right now that all of the campus security camera footage, anything that the public has given, anything that the media produced, all of it is being scrutinized right now. And they have the ability with technology and AI to do a really good job of deciphering video and coming up with something. You know, it's not that old, but in contemporary U.S. history, you think about the Boston Marathon bombing. Both subjects were identified through the video, and it was a variety of video. And then they also started picking up their placement as they were moving through the Boston area until they were under pursuit. So that's going to be one primary aspect done mostly by an intelligence group, probably led by the FBI, using technology there. But they are doing witness statements. They're getting every bit of other information, any of the forensics. They would have, of course, tried to find the scene of origin from the shooting to see if there was any shell casings that were left behind or a shell casing left behind. If this was a bolt-action rifle, there would not have been. If it was a semi-automatic rifle, yes, there would have been, unless the shooter took it with him or her. So they have to pursue everything, and then they have to build on a theory. But as information starts coming in, they'll become more and more focused, including exploiting cell phone technology. And there's a variety of things that'll be happening simultaneously. They'll have a command center that's basically directing investigational efforts until they start pinpointing things. And as things start to get hot in terms of a lead, they have to go to those to complete exhaustion. But as this thing starts to pick up tempo, in other words, identifying who it is and locating that person and any associates, we're going to have the feeling, because you're going to see resources popping up potentially in other cities as they get more information. One could also think of the, not too far from this location, the horrible murders of the Idaho college students and how this thing projected across the United States to the East Coast to the suspect was arrested.
And Ted, quickly on the on what we know so far, what do you think we can surmise about the profile of this shooter? Clearly planning went into it, clearly competency with presumably high-powered rifle at the very least. We know those things.
Sure, that this person is very cunning. And Bernard just brought up something that we haven't talked about. are there more than one person actually involved in the killing of Charlie Kirk here? And that is certainly something that law enforcement is also going to be looking into, Jonathan and Anita.
All right, thank you guys, Bernard and Ted. Great to have you with us. We've got to move on. We're a little tight for time now, but we appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
My pleasure.